What's up with it, man? It's the Bronco the Frog coming at you with another reaction video. Hey, I had to bring out the green screen for this video. It's a long video, 43 minutes, so y'all in for a treat. I'm in for a treat. A lot of people been asking me to react to the Arsenal Invincibles, and this is the most interesting video I could find, bro, because I was trying to find like a good story video to tell me their story and the highlights mixed instead of like just straight highlights or like a 3-minute video about their story. I want to learn everything. So hey man, word on the street, these boys went undefeated. They went undefeated, but I don't think they won the Champions League. I wonder who they lost to, man. Maybe they'll describe it in this video. Let's see what goes down. Don't mind my green screen quality, bro. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better.
After winning the league title in 1991, Arsenal Football Club failed to get back to those highs for a long time, as the Gunners slowly became a cup team and were labeled as boring Arsenal. And faced many challenges
boring Arsenal
as well. Until
they good this year, though.
Foreign manager was signed to build a new dynasty at the club.
That's live. That's live. Imagine being that one person where you can pinpoint like that's when the club got better. Look at Thierry Henry. Bitter old mind. But yeah, imagine being pinpointed as like one of the keystones of doing something like going undefeated in the Premier League. That's crazy right there, boy. I'm in for an entertaining ass video, man. From boring to invincible.
In 1989, and with the leadership of manager George Graham, Arsenal won the Division 1 title on the last match day at Anfield in circumstances that will never be repeated.
In Anfield. Oh, this was a one game besides all, huh?
One of the most difficult achievements in the history of English football. And they went on to achieve another league title after 2 seasons in a dominant manner.
Okay, the boys was winning
once throughout the season.
Whoa, only lost once. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Liverpool is in second place and they only lost, and they lost 8 games. Arsenal only lost 1 game this year.
Under George Graham, the team was very resilient and disciplined, and the Scottish manager was very strict with the players and had the last say in all club decisions. Some say he's almost like a dictator with his style of management.
Damn,
Thanks
they
to
be
this
winning.
discipline on the field, Arsenal was a great defensive side, and most of the credit goes to the captain Tony Adams, the keeper David Seaman, and the fullbacks Dixon and Winterburn.
Bro, you got a whole defensive field. Bro name is Seaman, first off. His last name is Seaman, and then this dude last name is Dixon. Seaman and Dixon.
With goals from Alan Smith, and after the prolific Ian Wright joined the team for a record fee from Palace, there were big ambitions for the Gunners in the years to come. But after Arsenal qualified to the European Cup competition in 1991, Graham soon realized that the best way to win was to defend, and with
that was the
increasing
defensive
numbers
team
in the back. He realized that after suffering defeat at Highbury at the hands of Portuguese side Benfica by 3-1.
Surely means that Benfica
European Cup is Champions League, right?
After that loss, the club took a whole new direction, as despite of Ian Wright's goals, Arsenal was exclusively
got a goal too for silver too.
The Scottish manager exaggerated in his defensive approach, so much that the club was being labeled boring Arsenal.
Yeah, get that man out of here, bro. So they was basically on some Atletico Madrid stuff. Man, get that man out the damn club, bro.
Ian Wright FC.
We here to see some Ian Wright
on the striker's goals to survive, and especially after Alan Smith lost his shooting boots. But as the Gunners were a cup team, as mentioned,
the banter was live and well before Twitter,
FA Cup and the League Cup in 1993.
Cup
they also managed to get to the European Cup Winners' Cup final in 1994 to face a Parma side who were the clear favourites. As Arsenal faced numerous chances from
Parma
the
was the
Italian
favorites.
side.
It's Champions League, right? Damn.
But they managed to score after a single chance to win their first official European trophy in the club's history.
I guess it wasn't. This is not the Champions League. What the hell was the Champions League called then, before Champions League?
Graham's defensive philosophy suited the knockout competitions in Europe and the local cups, but the Gunners suffered a lot in the Premier League throughout this time. as the team never finished above 4th position in 4 consecutive seasons. And they also fell way down and finished in 10th position.
Damn!
Won the Cup double in 93.
Look at Chelsea, sorry. We got Chelsea right here below Arsenal. We got them City boys. Then we got them cock boys right there.
Arsenal's league struggles continued
Sheffield
in the 94-95 campaign as they lost numerous matches in the beginning of the season. And they lost their star midfielder Paul Merson for 3 months after accepting rehab for his drug addiction.
Cocaine. This the late 80s, early 90s, right?
Captain Tony Adams, who also went to rehab in the previous years at that time.
Everybody was doing drugs.
His alcohol addiction.
Everybody was doing drugs.
Problems didn't stop there, as the manager George Graham was sacked following a big scandal in February of 95. As the Scottish manager was accused of receiving up to £400,000 in illegal payments, which came from a Norwegian agent with the purpose of signing 2 Norwegian players for Arsenal.
Bro, it seemed like everybody was corrupt back then.
9 years of service, and his assistant Stuart Houston took over until the end of the season. But the caretaker manager failed to steer the ship, as the team ended the season in 12th position, which is their worst showing in the league since 1976.
Chelsea, Southampton finished above them boys. Sheffield, so Chelsea and Arsenal was just like ass back in the day.
But surprisingly, Arsenal got to the final of the European Cup Winners' Cup again, after winning against Italian side Sampdoria in the semi-finals, and faced Spanish side Real Zaragoza in a match that was extended to extra time. Experts player Naeem then proceeded
this seemed like a Mickey. Is this a Mickey Mouse Cup?
At an absurd time.
I know some absurd position at an absurd time. Oh, that is absurd. That is absurd. That is absurd. In extra time, added time, extra time.
Manager for the next season, Bruce Rioch, and Vice Chairman David Dean, who was responsible of all club transfers, wanted to send a positive message to the fans after signing both the Englishman David Platt and the Dutchman Dennis Bergkamp.
Dennis Bergkamp! Dennis Bergkamp!
The signing of Bergkamp was considered a big surprise at that time, as despite his poor form in the Serie A with Inter Milan, he was still a sought-after star from all the big clubs in Europe. And Arsenal were in a clear transitional period. But Bergkamp wanted to join and push the Gunners back to lifting trophies. However, the Dutchman struggled in the beginning
Flying
of the
Dutchman.
season and took a long time to adapt to the English Premier League.
And they called him a flop.
To offer so much after that.
So the newspapers was basically like the Twitter of today. The banter.
But
they was
Arsenal
doing banter in newspapers.
Still far away from competing in the league, as Manchester United were still the dominating force in England.
Man United.
And the Gunners managed to qualify to the UEFA Cup in the very last match against Bolton, thanks to a goal from the start of the season.
Them socks live.
1-1 isn't good enough. Bergkamp!
Dennis Bergkamp! Dennis Bergkamp! Dennis Bergkamp!
The club's stability was
cold,
under threat once again, as the Scottish manager was involved in some heated arguments with the star of the team, Ian Wright, as the English striker handed in a transfer request to move away from Arsenal in the summer.
And then they go replace him.
Also got in an argument with Vice Chairman David Dean because of not receiving enough support to build a title-challenging team.
All
so
types
in a
of drama,
surprising
bro.
turn of events, Rioch was
sacked
sacked
him.
5
They done
days before the
sacked
season
him.
began. And all the media
bro.
outlets were wondering who was next in line to manage Arsenal.
Is that attendance? Is this attendance at the? This gotta be before the game. There is no way this is an actual game attendance, bro. Look how empty this stadium is. Ain't no way. This has to be before the game.
Wondering
Got
who was next in line to manage Arsenal. But for David Dean, the answer was clear.
The answer was clear. It was clear. They go replace Ian Wright with Thierry Henry.
On the 2nd of January, 1989,
Blessing in disguise.
Monaco's manager Arsene Wenger was in the middle of the French League winter break. And while passing through London, he went on to watch Arsenal play Tottenham in Highbury.
Oh, that boy name is Arsene. He is the... Bro, that's destiny. That's destiny. If this dude became a manager, his name is Arsene. The club name is Arsenal. Come on, bro. They was destined for greatness.
David Dean heard that Monaco's manager was attending the match. And David met Wenger in the reception hall within Highbury after the match.
That is so
Dean invited
scripted.
the Frenchman to dinner at his house the next day. And after accepting this invitation, their strong relationship kicked off instantly.
That is
Since
so
that day,
scripted.
Dean was following Arsene's career closely, as he was impressed by the Frenchman. So when there was a vacancy in the managerial position at Arsenal after Graham's sacking, Dean suggested Wenger to the chairman and board. But Arsenal chairman Peter Hillwood had major concerns, despite being impressed by Arsene after the interview. The idea of hiring a non-British manager at that time
here we go with the British bias. Here we go with the British bias. Y'all England boys be killing me,
man.
man.
Over an English team was Dr. Joseph Vingloos in 1990.
Aston Villa, it didn't
But
go
the Czech
real.
manager left after a tumultuous year with Aston Villa, so the idea was
He quit.
not
He didn't
welcomed
get
at
fired.
all.
He
Because
quit.
of that, the chairman passed on the chance
He
to
quit.
hire Wenger in '95, but was more convinced of the idea a year later. Wenger came to England with good experience. He won the league and cup with Monaco in France, then left to Japan to tackle a completely new experience
Okay.
with Nagoya Grampus 8. But when he officially arrived at Arsenal on September of 1996, he was a completely unknown figure to the fans and the English media outlets.
Yeah, especially with no
Everybody
social
asked
media.
the same question: Arsene who? And even the captain Tony Adams weighed in and said, "What does?"
Oh yeah, Tony. I'm benching you. If I'm Mr. Arsene Wenger, I'm benching you, Tony. Don't disrespect my name like that. I ain't go over there to Japan and win with Monaco to be disrespected by Tony Adams.
Football. He wears glasses, and does he even speak English? So Wenger's first challenge was to earn all the Arsenal players' respect, and especially how to get the experienced players on his side. So Wenger instantly requested from management to increase the salaries of the players to keep it on par with the league average.
What? I know he used to coach in France, and I know that boy Thierry Henry's from France.
He also promised to
see the
extend the
connection.
players' careers, but they had to follow all the new training and diet regimes which Wenger introduced at the club, which proved in the end to be a revolutionary approach.
Got them boys work
The
dictatorship.
Frenchman banned alcohol consumption in
Yeah.
off days and introduced vitamins and creatine to decrease fatigue and improve the fitness levels of the players.
Got them
But from
boys
the
in shape.
outside looking in, and specifically from the media's perspective, there were big doubts. And Wenger had the best odds to be the first manager sacked by all bookies around the country. But after only a couple of months, the doubts turned into praise. And Wenger kept the great defensive core at Arsenal and added some protection and strength
Seaman
in the
and
middle
Dickman.
after he bought Patrick Vieira from Milan,
Patrick
who
Vieira?
adjusted quickly to the
That's-
English Premier League.
That's Crystal Palace's manager right now, black dude.
And these are one of Wenger's
He's a
traits.
legend, apparently.
He had great experience with the French market, which made it easy for him to sign good talents without any competition from other English clubs. But the team didn't truly compete throughout the season, despite being on top of the league in December. And as usual, United won the league again, and Arsenal
Damn,
finished in
as
third,
usual,
which was an improved showing despite the conditions in the beginning of the season. But it's hard to gauge the season accurately and fairly, as Wenger came in October. So what would happen
okay.
if he managed the team for
The
a full
whole
season?
season. Undefeated.
Arsene Wenger entered his first summer transfer market for Arsenal and brought in numerous players, most notably the Dutchman Marc Overmars from Ajax Amsterdam and the Frenchman
Marco
Emmanuel Petit
Overmars.
from Monaco. And Wenger started introducing rigorous training camps in Austria as he wanted a strong start to the season and switched back to his preferred formation, the 4-4-2.
4-4-2 flat.
Arsenal
I'm a
started
demon.
badly, and despite
Y'all know I rock with that 4-4-2. Hold on, let me look at this
situation,
lineup. That boy Dennis and Link, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know anybody. All I know on this list is Dennis and, am I in the way? Nah, I'm not in the way. All I know is Mr. Dennis Bergkamp and Patrick Vieira on this. And then I go that Seaman dude and that Dixon dude.
4-4-2. But Arsenal
4-4-2.
started badly, and despite writing history by being the all-time goal scorer of the team, Ian Wright and Arsenal received
Ian
boos
Wright,
and whistles after their defeat at Highbury by the hands of Blackburn by 3
All that
goals
celebration,
to 1.
you lose.
And despite the great efforts from the French teenager Nicolas Anelka after joining the team in last season's winter transfer market, and despite Arsenal winning against United thanks to the French youngster, The Gunners were far away from competing, sitting in 6th position at the end of December, and were 12 points away from United at the top of the league. Wenger usually doesn't like confrontation. That's why he gave that responsibility to the leaders of the team, as the players had a meeting and the English spine of the team were asking for more defensive coverage from their French duet.
Yeah, okay, I like that.
Meeting, the team never looked back.
Accountability. I like that. I like that right there. You haven't got a clue what your job is, bruv. We need some protection, mate. We're not getting any cover from you, mate. This is England, bruv. This is not France. You get what I'm saying? This is not League One. This is the Premier League, fam. You know what I'm saying? Tighten the hell up.
The team never looked back.
And them boys tighten up too. Ugh, Dennis Bergkamp. Dennis Bergkamp. Dennis Bergkamp. Them boys playing ball now. What a cracker. That boy Pat.
Arsenal embarked on an unbeaten streak of matches, extending till their fateful match in March against United at Old Trafford.
United whooped that ass.
Were 9 points away from United, but the Gunners had 3 matches in hand. That's why a win here would mean that the destiny of the title will be
this is a must-win.
And this is a must-win. Several chances, the gunner of the season, Mark Overmars, managed to seal the match in the second half.
Oh, so they won. They won. He said faithful. I thought they lost.
Has the upper hand, and the Gunners took advantage and didn't slip up in the run-in, as they won consecutive matches to seal the title for the first time since after beating Everton and Highbury.
United fumble!
Goal set up by the other centre-back Steve Bold was a glimpse of Wenger's philosophy and freedom of expression on the field.
Would you believe it? That sums it all up.
And Arsene Wenger became the first foreign manager to win the Premier League. And
Man, United fumbled the goddamn back. They was ahead of them by what, 3 games?
Following that, the team got to the FA Cup final as well and won handsomely against Newcastle.
Shout out Arsene Wenger though.
First double since 1971.
He said first foreign manager to win the Premier League.
They are Arsenal.
Arsene Wenger.
Arsenal didn't stand still as they boosted the team in the summer.
Especially
as club legend Ian Wright left for West Ham.
He left for West Ham.
As they brought in the Swede Ljungberg and Kanu from Internazionale in January. And the Gunners sent a strong message to Manchester United in the beginning of the season, as they won by 3-0 once in the Charity Shield match, once again in the Premier League. Everybody was wondering whether this will be a new season of dominance for Arsenal. But the team struggled continuously till December, and their European travels were a failure.
Damn, they look like a fluke.
Looking fluky. Stages of the Champions League.
But
man, Arsenal
looking
were back
fluky.
in form, and with an unbeaten streak of matches, they were back to the top of the league as well.
Never mind.
And with 2 games left, the Gunners were level on points with their rivals United.
Gunners and United again. Let me look at that standing again.
The Gunners were left
75-75. Them Chelsea boys went up too. Arsenal and Chelsea went up at the same time because they both used to be at the bottom. Is that Leeds down there? I think this is Leeds.
Level on points with their rivals United. And the competition between these 2 rivals was on display in the semi-finals of the FA Cup as well. And in the replay, Arsenal had a chance to get to another FA Cup final as they won a penalty in added time. And Dennis Bergkamp came forward to take what should be the last kick.
What should he miss? Dennis! 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 Man, who is he? 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 Giggs. Hey.
Arsenal were defeated in extra time.
That's the dude who got the Nottingham Forest logo on his chest. You see all that hair? That's the dude with the Nottingham Forest logo on his chest. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. He got that Nottingham Forest on his chest.
Arsenal were defeated in extra time and were handed another defeat in the league against Leeds United in the dying minutes.
Them Leeds boys got on them. Damn.
And just like that, and only within a couple of weeks, the team went from dreaming of a double to watching their rivals United win a historic treble.
Them boys, they won a treble. Okay, the boys won that treble. Man United. What y'all say? Glory, glory, United. Too bad it ain't like that today.
The club had received some shocking news in the summer of 1999.
Is that Andre right there?
As Anelka, through his agent and brothers, requested to leave the club.
I thought he committed suicide.
Wenger was very upset by this decision, but Arsenal were handsomely compensated after Madrid signed the French striker for an all-time record fee.
Okay.
The Croatian striker left Madrid for Arsenal in part of the deal, but Wenger knew exactly who was the right man to replace Anelka effectively. When he was coaching Monaco, Arsene had a keen interest in the youth team. At the beginning of the 94 season, he handed a 17-year-old teenager his professional debut, and that teenager was named Thierry Henry. But after his dismissal in September of the same season, he didn't have the chance to grow this French talent. And after numerous seasons, Henry went to Juventus and was not being deployed correctly. And overall, it was a bad
Arsenal, my boy.
And following the last match of the season for Juve, Henry left to enjoy his holiday in Paris and managed to bump into Wenger on the plane as he expressed his interest in joining Arsenal. And soon the Frenchman became the most expensive transfer in the club's history at that time. Wenger deployed Henry as a striker, so the young Frenchman had to relearn that position, as the last time he played there was back with the Monaco youth team. That's why he didn't have the best of starts to his Arsenal career, as he failed to score in his first 7 league matches.
Everybody can't be Erling. Everybody can't be Erling where you come out banking. I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, scoring 10 goals in what, 3 games, 4 games, 5 games? Whatever it was.
What is now a trademark finish.
Yeah, falling back. Did that falling back.
Arsenal didn't have the best of seasons, despite the brilliance of their attacking options like Henry and Kanu.
Bro, it's a dude I went to college with who looked exactly like Kanu.
As Adams missed many matches throughout the season because of injury, and the defense as a whole was not getting any younger. The media were criticizing Wenger and his failure of replacing these aging players in defense, whom he inherited from ex-manager George Graham, as all his recent transfers were midfielders and attackers.
Oh, okay, so the defenders were somebody else's.
And Arsenal failed in the Champions League again, despite playing all their European home matches at Wembley, as they attracted over 70,000 fans in each match. But they lost in the second group stages for the second season in a row.
Them boys allergic.
Famous goal.
They allergic to the Champions League. Lost to Fiorentina.
So after crashing out of the English Cup competitions and being way far off the pace in the league race,
United. Let me move my camera out the way. Look at that scope, bro. Ass whooping. 91 to 73 to 6. Boy, the United boys was OP back in the day.
Competition as they got to the final.
I see why y'all got so many fans.
These crucial goals throughout each round. They then faced Turkish side Galatasaray in the final, led by manager Fatih Terim.
I still don't get what the hell is the UEFA Cup.
The match was very tense because of the riots outside the stadium between the Turkish and English fans. And it was tense on the field as well.
Oh, they are boxing.
A couple of clashes between the two teams. But luck was not on Arsenal's side that day.
Of course he's not. Look at Pat. Come on, Pat. Them boys lost in the penalty showdown. So the end of the stick, man.
Another disappointing year for Arsenal in the 2000-2001 season.
Disappointment.
And Overmars left for Barcelona.
Boring,
they were replaced
Arsenal.
by Wiltord for a record fee, the Cameroonian Lauren, and the talented Frenchman Robert Perez, who rejected Madrid's offer and signed for Arsenal because of Wenger. The Frenchman struggled to adapt in his first season in the Premier League, and the team as a whole was going through a transitional period, especially in the defense, after the departure of both Winterburn and Steve Bold. And in the first match of the season, Wenger clashed with the fourth official after Vieira received a red card and was fined and banned for 12 whole matches. And despite
12?
getting back in contention for the league in January, the team visited Old Trafford to face United without their defensive duo of Adams and Keown, and were on the end of a historic beating.
A historic beating? A historic one? What was the score? Everybody eating. They stat pad. 6-1, historic beat.
It was a loss that sealed United's advantage over Arsenal for a new season, as Wenger was quoted. It also proved the failure of the French manager in reinforcing the defense with good signings. The Gunners lost again in the Champions League, this time in the quarterfinals against Valencia. And Vieira was very upset by the result and was quoted saying that the club had made a big mistake in letting Overmars and
this is boys.
As
this is boys right there.
The club's ambitions. And Arsenal went to the FA Cup final and were defeated by Liverpool
boys, and they
despite
lost
dominating the whole match.
I hate them type of losses. That's the Real Madrid Champions League victories right there, winning despite getting dominated the whole match.
And in the span of 3 seasons, Arsenal were accustomed to being runners-up.
The Gunner boys, the runners,
in
the
Gunners,
summer of
the 2001, Arsenal finally reinforced their defense, and has done so in difficult circumstances, as after numerous secret meetings between him and Vice Chairman David Dein, Spurs' captain Sol Campbell joined the team in a free transfer. It was a strong message to their rivals, and especially to United. The Gunners will not settle for second place. It was also a message to the players of the team as well, as it reflected the team's ambitions positively. But overall, there were no other transfers in the same pedigree. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst came in and got injured in the first months. But last season's transfers, in particular Wiltord and Perez, were like new signings after
Why he look at that bro like that?
And also after the young Ashley Cole became essential in the starting lineup. And after an average start to the season, Arsenal managed to get into gear after a big win against United in Highbury, thanks to a couple of huge errors from the French keeper.
What in the hell did Baptiste just do? Thierry, and then he looked back at him disrespectful. Thierry Henry owns him. He owns him, don't he?
Henry has truly transformed into a superstar this season. And
this is the season.
And Jomberg offered the quality touches that were needed.
Oh, Dennis Bergkamp! Dennis Bergkamp! Dennis Bergkamp!
A magnificent player.
And Sol Campbell offered the solidity in the back, which was a tradition at Arsenal. It was now a complete unit, and more importantly, Arsenal now played as a team, as already said in the beginning of the season. But the European struggles continued for Arsenal, as the Gunners crashed out of the second group stages after suffering bad defeats against Deportivo
the Champions League.
It was a really tough
allergic
as a whole.
They allergic. Leverkusen. Didn't Leverkusen make the final this year?
Suffering bad defeats against Deportivo
I think they did.
And Juventus. It was a really tough group as a whole.
Deportivo, Juventus. He said this is a tough group. If this was today, this would be a Mickey Mouse group. You know what I'm saying?
The team managed
Crazy
to
how
get
times
back
change.
to the FA Cup final for a second season in a row. And this time the challenger was Chelsea before Abramovich's era, as Arsenal didn't waste this chance and won by 2-0.
Okay. Ooh, I saw that bees. Ooh, falling back. Thierry Henry type beat.
Entered a winning streak that spanned 13 matches, and the star of that streak was undoubtedly the Swede Freddie Jomberg,
bro got
who scored several crucial goals within that period and was fittingly named the Premier League
He looked like a rooster.
The season. Arsenal were then handed a golden opportunity to clinch the title
United
at Old Trafford.
Go ahead, whoop that ass, March Arsenal.
The title race at this point,
as
Liverpool were closer to the.
This was Man United downfall, huh? Like 2000, the early 2000s.
This is the case throughout the season. The team has
Ronaldo came in
opportunity
08 or 07, whenever it was.
Again, push out by Bartes.
Well, actually, I think they won in 2008, the Champions League. I don't know when Ronaldo went to United.
And this could be the most crucial goal of all.
It was a fitting and beautiful end to the career of Arsenal legend Lee Dixon, and also to the other legend and captain, Tony Adams.
The boy Tony Adams and Dixon, they go, man. Damn. I feel sad because they've been here since the beginning of the video. You get what I'm saying? I done developed some connection to him.
And Arsene Wenger, the French manager, set his sights on pursuing the impossible. After concluding the 2001-2002 season without any defeat outside Highbury, and after an excellent and unbeaten start to the new season, Arsene Wenger was asked about the possibility of going through a whole season
undefeated.
Wenger's answer was surprising, as he said with full confidence, "Yes, we have the ability to do that."
See, that's not the same though. That's not the same. Saying it could be done versus being like, oh yo, we go do that thing. That's kind of like jinxing it. So yeah, this is the politically correct answer. Yes,
all
it could be
great
done.
managers and teams share the same ambition, but are scared to say so. Milan achieved it in the past, so why is the idea shocking for everybody? Wenger's answer didn't come from nowhere, as all the numbers support the Frenchman's ambition in achieving the impossible. When Wenger spoke about his ambition in September of 2002, his team was already breaking records left and right. The Gunners scored in 47 Premier League matches in a row. They were also unbeaten in 22 Premier League away matches. And before entering the match against Everton in the end of October, Arsenal were 30 matches unbeaten in the league. That's why the impossible was well within their reach. And all of this was achieved without spending big in the summer, although Gilberto Silva's signing was crucial to safeguard the defense from midfield.
Y'all heard that? Without big signings in the summer. This is straight chemistry and ball.
The Gunners' dreams were shattered after an English teenager named Wayne
Rooney
in the last minute.
Wayne Rooney ended that unbeaten streak. Damn, Wayne Rooney ended that unbeaten streak.
Of October, Arsenal's form became inconsistent.
Damn!
Despite Henry's historic season in the league, as he scored 24 goals and assisted an additional 20 to his teammates. And the team went from the possibility of achieving the impossible to the risk of losing out on all trophies, as United didn't stand still.
All started by Wayne Rooney,
Ferdinand from Leeds for a record fee for a defender, and they were tough opponents throughout the season. Struggling in Europe was becoming a habit each year, as the team crashed out again from the second group stages of the Champions League at the hands of Valencia and their striker. Then came a crucial match in the league against Manchester United in April at Highbury, as it could be the Gunners' last chance to come back in the title race.
Van Nistelrooy, that's brilliant! Ruud Van Nistelrooy!
And it's crazy because Wayne Rooney, like, prophesized everything. He the reason all of this is happening right now. Teenage Wayne Rooney. This a good game, it look like. Yeah, this a game. They going. They going at it.
The draw was not enough for the Gunners, and a loss against Leeds in Highbury handed the title to United again.
United, goddamn, I thought they was going to be on a decline. No. The Arsenal boys went from talk about being undefeated
as they won against
to being Cup boys
in a dull and eventless match.
The Cup boys. What did he call them, the Cup boys? Or
the celebrations were modest, and this is clear evidence of the club's failure to fulfill Arsene Wenger's ambition at the start of the season.
Yeah.
And Arsene mentioned in his autobiography recently that the players told him that he was putting far too much pressure on them. And the goal of winning the league without losing a match.
They ain't gonna. No wonder they lost. No wonder they lost. They ain't got that mentality. You need the players on the team that's gonna believe what the hell you say. They didn't believe in words that came out of his mouth. That's why they let teenage Wayne Rooney tee the hell up on them, boy. Shame on them damn players, bro. But this is the year, though. I can tell you about it.
Reiterated the challenge to his players: win the Premier League without defeat, and you'll be the modern-day Invincibles. Wenger focused on the defensive transfers and brought in the keeper Jens Lehmann from Dortmund after Siemens' departure to Man City. So
Dortmund
finally,
used to be
and
red
after
and white.
all the criticism, the Frenchman now has built his own defense. Lehmann, Cole, Campbell, Lauren, and the Ivorian Touré.
So the first year he built his own defense, that's when they went undefeated?
Season as an unknown entity from Africa, but managed to convince the manager after participating in a successful trial and became a solid figure for the team. And after the Russian businessman Roman Abramovich bought Chelsea, the season predictions suddenly
the dude who
changed,
just got kicked off
now Chelsea
because of the war.
One of the title favorites with United and Arsenal after spending big in the summer. The challenges of the season came instantly from the first match against Everton after Sol Campbell was sent off in the opening minutes, but the Gunners managed to overcome these hardships and secure the 3 points. And this is a situation that will be repeated throughout the year.
I would have tried to bash they goddamn head in, man, because of Wayne Rooney.
An example of that came in a match
against United. That Arsenal United rivalry seemed live.
Match, Vieira was sent off in the dying minutes after receiving a second caution from the ref.
Why the hell Arsenal rocking some? They go Roy Keane. Why they rocking some Brazil jerseys?
In his reaction to get Vieira sent off from the field. Then the ref handed United a penalty in the last minute, and thus came United's chance in ending the dreams of Arsenal.
That's D. Shout out the goalkeeper. Shout out the goalkeeper. Oh, he missed. Never mind. He missed. He just straight up missed. He just straight up missed.
After the final whistle, Keon and
imagine if he would have hit that.
To the Dutch striker.
Imagine if he would have hit that penalty. Look at Cristiano.
The Football Association had accused 6 Arsenal players for violent and unsportsmanlike behavior, while the club was fined £175,000, which is the biggest fine given in the history of the English Football Association. Arsenal managed to escape by the skin of their teeth.
Yes, bro, because he missed that penalty.
Win against Liverpool
imagine if he would have hit that penalty. There is no Invincibles.
The Times said that Arsenal was growing from recent events, and now they place substance ahead of style. Important wins against Leeds, Chelsea and Spurs pushed the club to finish the first half of the season unbeaten. But were still 1 point away from the leaders United.
And United
Wenger added a new attacking.
What the hell was United record?
After Reyes came from Sevilla in January, and the Gunners managed to win 9 games in a row and led the league by a big and comfortable margin. But in the beginning of April, the team was under great pressure, as within a week, Arsenal were knocked out of 2 competitions. Firstly against United in the FA Cup semi-finals, and
not cup boys, and we know Champions League, they not them.
The quarterfinals of the Champions League.
And it was from Chelsea. It was from another English club. Usually they'll be like Sampdoria, Sevilla, Juventus or something like that. It was another Premier League club that kicked their ass out, gave them the boot.
Were shattered. 3 days following that defeat, Liverpool visited Highbury for a league match, and they had an eye on stopping Arsenal from achieving the impossible.
5 minutes in. Don't fold. Oh, they scored again. Oh, no. Okay, it's 2-1.
Arsenal didn't play well at all, but Henry refused the possibility of the streak ending.
Thierry Henry. Little give and go. Little Arsenal tiki-taka. Little Gunner boy taka. Little Gunner taka. Look at Thierry. Oh, look at Henry. Look at Henry. Look at Henry. Yeah. 5 minutes out the half, and then Henry finna score again. Hattie. Thierry Hattie.
Now came the time to clinch the title, and the chance to do that on your rival stadium.
As the Cock Boys, the London Derby.
For Arsenal. And following a tense match that ended in a draw, and for the second time in history, Arsenal clinched the league title at White Hart Lane.
And then they clinched the league title.
Arsene Wenger reiterated the goal of ending the season unbeaten to his players. And after a couple of draws and a win, the team managed to stage one last comeback against Leicester at Highbury. And that team will now be remembered forever as the Invincibles.
Hey, the new Invincibles, bro. Hey, how long did they win? It skipped it. Why he say it? I thought he was gonna say it a little bit more dramatic.
Unbeaten to his
he covered that quick. He said couple of draws and a win.
To stage one last comeback against Leicester.
One last
and that team.
Come on, creator of this video. You got to make this Leicester versus Arsenal a little bit more dramatic. You got to make that more dramatic, bro. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Vieira hit the go-ahead goal. You're supposed to dramatize that. To be undefeated.
Has a place in the sporting record books for all time.
Why are they not excited? They don't look it. Well, okay, they look excited now.
As long as football is played.
The crowd looked kind of dead to me.
The unbeaten streak was extended for Arsenal through the new season. Ooh. And the Gunners passed the historic run set by Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest! So that was the first Invincibles?
1978, and the Gunners
in the
added
70s?
7 matches to their tally to
I
get
know
to
they won 2
49
Champions
matches
Leagues.
unbeaten before entering a match against United at Old Trafford.
Of course he
in
was
October.
United. And Wayne
Everybody
Rooney
knew
said,
it
yeah.
was going to be a tough and physical match, but
Oh,
it
damn,
was
yeah.
settled in a controversial way.
Well, a fraction of a second could be fatal. Oh, that's a
A pin off a pin. Wayne Rooney again.
Here goes Van Nistelrooy.
Wayne Rooney. Then he said he not missing this one. He's not gonna miss this one. He gonna hit that one.
Celebrations say it all.
The Dutchman
messed up
scored
last
the
season.
penalty this time, and Wayne Rooney sealed the 3
Wayne
points
Ro-
as
Wayne
he's done
Rooney.
2 years earlier. And
Wayne
just like
Rooney,
that,
yeah,
and
he
in
they
controversial circumstances, the Invincibles
Wayne Rooney,
were
they
human
kryptonite.
again. But the battle was not over, as after the final whistle, there was a fight in the tunnel between the
Oh,
two sets of
man.
players. And Cesc Fabregas recently confessed that he threw a piece of pizza.
He
in the
threw a
middle of the
pizza.
chaos, but didn't intend
And he hit
on it
Sir
hitting
Alex.
Sir Alex Ferguson. And thus the match was soon labeled as the Battle of the Buffet by some English media outlets. That defeat was the beginning
Bro,
of the
what?
end,
And it
as
was
several points were
they go
dropped,
down for
and
yeah.
the team lost its focus and drive, as Wenger mentioned in his
Yeah.
autobiography.
Yeah, you can point one person to the downfall of Arsenal Invincibles, and that is Mr. Wayne Rooney, bro. That you can literally pinpoint one person.
Despite the team being energized by the introduction
Robin Van
of both
Persie.
Fabregas and Van Persie. But with the passing of time, the Premier League title race was settled. Chelsea were the new champions, and by 12
Chelsea.
whole points from second place
12
Arsenal,
whole
and a
points.
defeat against Bayern in the round of 16 of the
Of
Champions
course, we
League
know they
meant that
allergic to the
European
Champions
dream
League.
was still far away. And the two rivals, United and Arsenal, had one single competition to play
United
for,
again.
which was the FA Cup. And following a tense and long match, penalty shootouts were going
This
to
man
decide
Pat
the
Vieira
winner
with
for the
another
first
red
time in the
card.
competition's
How many
history,
red
as
cards do
Vieira
he
stepped up
have
to steal the match?
in his history?
As
The Arsenal
Arsenal
boys
won a
won.
new trophy
The cup
to
team,
heal
the cup
some of
boys.
the wounds of the season.
The Cup Boys.
After years of rumors and speculation
Vieira
with
fires
regards to
Rooney
his
to
departure,
Arsenal. You want to
the
leave
captain
Arsenal?
Patrick Vieira left for Juventus in the summer of 2005.
Damn,
It
bro.
was ironic that he was sold when he really wanted to stay. But management saw that this was the best time to get the most out of the Frenchman's value in the market. But why has the club's direction shifted this way? The historic Highbury Stadium was not enough for Arsenal anymore. Its max capacity could fit around
they got a new
38,000
stadium?
fans only. And management knew after playing numerous European matches at Wembley before the turn of the century that the club
They
can
so
attract
do.
fans
So
in much
Emirates is
bigger
new.
numbers. That's
I
why
didn't
the
know
planning
Emirates
for
was
a
new.
new stadium started in the early 2000s, and the funding was confirmed in February of 2004.
Oh, okay.
But the banks demanded guarantees before giving the green light for the project, such as restricting the players' salaries to 50% of the total budget, and also asking Wenger to renew his contract for the next 5 years.
I hate
So the Frenchman
coming
and the
to
new
business
stadium
moves.
were now completely intertwined. Many people think that the financial restrictions were in effect after the stadium was finished, and that's true. But there were some restrictions before that as well, as some news outlets said that Arsenal were so close to financial turmoil in 2004.
Not being there.
That's
I
why
hate
the
that, bro.
philosophy of scouting and playing youngsters began before the stadium was finished. And the stadium was scheduled to officially open its doors in July of 2006. So the 05-06 season will be the last at Highbury.
At Highbury.
And before entering this
End
new
of an era.
Arsenal and Arsene Wenger wanted the final title which slipped from their grasp, the Champions League trophy. And with Vieira's departure, the club
allergic
didn't
to the
reinforce
Champions
a
League,
lot
bro.
in the summer, as most of their transfers were done with an eye for the future, except Alexander Hleb from Stuttgart. And to celebrate the last season at this historic stadium, the players were handed kits
So
with
did they-
special
I
colors
don't think-
to honor the shirts which were used in the first season at Highbury
Hey,
Stadium
that's
from
loud
around
right there.
100 years ago.
I don't think they
But
tear
the
down
team
stadiums
failed
over there
to
in
honor the
Europe,
stadium
huh?
through their results on the field,
And then
as they
they-
were out of the title race from the very first months.
Ah.
The competition was getting very tough for the Gunners. So the focus was now on the Champions League, and the team managed to qualify out of the group stages easily. And in a group match against Sparta Prague, Henry entered the match and scored 2 goals to pass Ian Wright as the club's all-time record goal scorer. It was also a feat that was achieved in 7 seasons only.
7 seasons.
Arsenal
That's a nice pickup,
Real
though.
Madrid in the round of 16.
They playing
as Henry scored a historic and individual goal.
It's Henry getting cleared.
I think I seen this in a compilation video. I think I seen this on a compilation video.
The Gunners managed to get through to the next round.
Hey, also they did beat Real Madrid.
And gained great confidence before entering the next round.
And they play, they playing Patterdale. They playing Vieira and Deal. You gotta whoop their ass since Vieira played for their team. Thierry Henry, yeah, you gotta whoop their ass, bro. You have to. Villarreal, them Spanish teams be their weakness. I like them Navy kits. Them Navy kits are nice. Navy and gold. It just look like some champion kits. Arsenal boys won that one too. Did they make the final this year?
Despite the numerous injuries in the season, Arsenal got to the final of the Champions League.
Yeah, they did
for
go
the
to the
very
final.
First time in their history.
Who they lose to?
They achieved this feat without conceding a single goal throughout
Ooh,
each
that's
knockout
defense
stage.
right there.
The reason for that could be linked to Wenger's switch of formation from his favorite 4-4-2 to the more compact 4-5-1, which he used exclusively for the European matches.
Buttering
and
Arsenal.
after Bergkamp was now in his late 30s, Henry was now a lone striker and was supported by 5 in the midfield.
Buttering
before
Arsenal.
entering the final against
We
Barcelona in
gone.
Paris, Arsenal had to say their goodbyes to Highbury.
I was about to say,
and
we
also to
gone.
Bergkamp, who will play his last match for the club. And also based on the rumors and speculation, it could be Henry's last match as well.
He went to Barcelona after this, right? He had him a good career, bro. I seen that picture,
win,
yeah.
Arsenal qualified for next season's Champions League and entered the final against Barcelona to close this chapter
Barcelona,
of the club's
boy.
history.
Ooh, look at that crowd,
with their last
man.
title to complete their collection.
Ooh, that's glorious right here. I wish I was at this game. I wish I was at this game. Yeah, Thierry scored. Oh, he got blocked, boy. It's one of those games, huh? It's one of those games, huh? Yeah. Oh, red. That's a red. Oh, man. Oh, come on, bro. That's a red. Oh, they still scored, though. They still scored. Boy, Eto. Thierry getting packed up. Eto finna score. Eto brace? That's not a brace. I thought he scored that one earlier. This 1-1 tie. Who finna put it out of reach? Buletti, 2-1. Stay bad look, man. Arsenal bad look. Full time. Look at Arsene Wagner. Damn, I know they are through the slumps. That's it, bro. You made it to the peak. There was your chance to win the Champions League. You lost. And them boys, bad luck since, man. They good this year, like I said.
Closed Highbury's doors for good. And they closed a historic and successful page in the club's history. It was certainly a beginning of a new age. Bergkamp, Perez, Campbell, Reyes and Cole all left in the summer. And Lauren didn't play for the club again after being injured. And Henry left
end of
the
an
following
injury,
year.
man.
And now Wenger will
Oh, Thierry, you pulled a KD? You pulled a KD?
Reyes and Cole all left in the
All
summer.
these boys
And
left.
Lauren
5
didn't
players
play
left.
for the club again after being injured.
He didn't
And
play for them
Henry
again.
left the following year.
Thierry, why y'all ain't tell me Thierry pulled a KD, bro? He joined the team that he lost to in the Champions League like that.
And now Wenger will be financially restricted for the following years.
Yeah,
until
that's
the
raps.
loan is repaid back to the banks.
That's raps.
And he'll have to compete against clubs who have unlimited financial
That's
resources.
right, yeah.
It will be
Wrap
the
it up.
most dangerous period for Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm
and
already
specifically
knowing.
for Arsene Wenger.
I'm already knowing. Yeah, 8-2. Whoa, 8-2.
And specifically for
Manchester United. Against their rivals too. Damn, hey, live, hey, bravo, man, bravo. Who made this video? Everybody go subscribe to this man. Ballon English, go subscribe to this man, bro. Hit that subscribe button. I'm finna subscribe to him. That was a brilliant ass video, live ass video. This is probably the longest video I ever did. It don't even feel like 40 minutes, bro. Woo! Hey, I can't believe Thierry done that. But everybody go up, you always go back down. If you're not Barcelona or Real Madrid or something like that, everybody got their peak, but it's going to be a sharp decline. Look at United, you know what I'm saying? Arsenal boys, they had their chance to win the Champions League, but they lost to Barcelona. And now they just went all the way down. But now it look like they on a rise this year. We gonna see what they do this year. Last year they had a good team, but they lost to goddamn Tottenham to finish top 4 in the goddamn derby game. But it's looking like they gonna finish top 4 this season. Arsenal from boring to Invincibles, man. Shout out to whoever suggested me to react to this. Let me know what other stories, historical stories y'all want me to react to, man. I love this video. Let me know if y'all rocking with it. I'm out.